in to say hello and share just a little bit, some thoughts on this particular scenario. Apparently, the Springfield, Missouri Police Department got a call of an active shooter at Walmart, and turns out he wasn't actually an active shooter. They arrived on the scene, as it says here in this article, within 3 minutes of the call. They found a young white male appearing to be in his 20s. They pulled up to the Walmart, and he put on his body armor and military fatigues. Police say the man had tactical weapons. Now, my first question, as I see this, they say the man drove up to the Walmart, put on the body armor and the military fatigues there at the Walmart, I'm assuming in the parking lot, and then entered Walmart. So that's first question there. But they wound up arresting him. So basically he's arrested for carrying a rifle, a tactical rifle, the handgun that he had that was loaded with 1 round chambered. The rifle was loaded, but nothing was chambered. And he had about another 100 rounds of ammo, and he was dressed in his body armor. Supposedly he went into Walmart and he was just kind of walking around. Interview with him says he did what? He wanted to test to see if that particular Walmart honored the Second Amendment. Well, message to you, dude. You knew it was going to cause chaos when you went in there. You have a Second Amendment right, yes. But you knew when you walked in dressed like that you were going to cause chaos. Let's be real. Walmart and all the other stores should have signs on their door that specify their firearm permissions, because it is private property. Or prohibitions, for that matter. Whether they allow long arms, open carry, concealed only, no firearms at all, short of whatever. Their policy somehow, some way should be posted somewhere for people to see before they enter the actual building. But here's another thing. Maybe you could have checked the website. Maybe you could have called and asked. But here's my question. What does it matter? What does it matter? I mean, do you really need to walk around with a tactical weapon like that? Sidearm? Okay. Tactical weapon, body armor, extra ammo. That sends an image. I mean, it sends a picture. It sends a message. It gives people the impression that something's about to go down. And personally, I believe you knew that when you did it. And of course, what happened? The Walmart people in Walmart, the patrons and employees were afraid. They ran. They took off. But an off-duty fireman was in there, and he detained the guy at gunpoint until the police arrived. So the fact that the off-duty fireman was there with his own weapon says, yes, you can carry your firearm in Walmart. If it's legal, of course, legit and all. That in itself says, yes, you can. So in that regard, your experiment was successful because you were able to determine that firearms are allowed in Walmart. However, it was not successful because you went overboard with your firearms unnecessarily. Oh, that's not necessary. Why do you need 2 firearms? In another time frame, carrying a loaded rifle might not have been as menacing, but in light of the recent shootings all over the place, testing the moves right now was a dumb move, period. I mean, point blank, it was a dumb move. And people, I believe we should keep our firearms and we should be allowed to carry them. They're no good to us at home if the time when we need them is in a parking lot somewhere. But I don't believe anyone except active military during a time of war, or like if they're training on, on base or something, wherever they train, should have access to the drums that carry extremely high volumes of ammunition. Those autoloaders that hold hundreds of rounds at a time. People shouldn't have that. Local police shouldn't have that. Anybody here on the ground, locally doing anything here in the country, you got no business with that. That's for military people when they are out there fighting wars. An extra clip or two, if you whatever you carry, your handgun, whatever you carry, an extra clip or two, that's one thing, but not that massive drum. And in the country, oftentimes you'll see people, they keep their shotgun, see a lot of pickup trucks, and you have the gun rack in the back window, and they'll have their shotgun there hanging across the back rack. That's very common in the country. People are not afraid of that. And it usually gives the impression that this is for self-defense, or, if they happen to find a buck and it's right in line with hunting season, they might get them something. But to just walk around with that in a city, knowing the climate that we're in right now when it comes to firearms, I thought it was a very unwise, idiotic, childish move. And truth be told, the only thing he just reinforced was why people should not be able to carry their firearms with them. You just reinforce that people are already afraid. They've already been socialized to fear weapons at all, period. And you created a further panic by walking in there with that. The other thing you did was you stopped commerce. So Walmart lost, and I'm sure their little number crunchers will determine how much they actually lost in that episode of having to get customers out, get the employees out, and whatever. And who knows what they'll say about shrinkage, what might have been stolen in the process, who knows. But you want to stop commerce like that, big businesses ain't gonna go for that. And with all these Walmart store hits, these things keep happening at Walmart. Part of me wouldn't be surprised if that's not meant to get Walmart to jump on the bandwagon big time against firearms. But here's the thing, people. Firearms are not a joke. They are meant to serve as protection or as a way to secure your food. Hunters and gatherers, they used to hunt. Way back when, they didn't hunt with guns because guns weren't always available. They hunted with spears or whatever they could make a weapon, out of, way back when. So yeah, we have firearms now. So you can catch a rabbit, you can catch a squirrel real quick. But that tactical weapon is not necessary to catch a rabbit. You can do something different. Firearms are not a joke. People are abusing them. And yes, something needs to be done. However, taking actions like this is that's a sure way of getting the legislators to take corrective measures that are overzealous and unnecessarily over-restrictive. It's going to counter the objective to maintain firearms safely and securely and feel like you're able to defend yourself appropriately. This was stupid. This is going to serve as a countermeasure. So, people, use common sense. Use wisdom, and this is no matter what your race is. If you're a person that feels like you want to carry your firearm, you carry your firearm. Be legit with it, be legal with it, all that other good stuff, but use common sense. This is not a climate to be walking around testing to see if it's okay to carry a weapon. Especially dressed in body armor and military looking style clothes and black shirt and tan pants and stuff. Having the right to carry the firearm, having cleared the background check, the mental health checks, all that other stuff, to be able to clear the firearm, does not mean you exercise it in a foolish manner. You still be responsible with it. And after all, the reality is, no matter the caliber, whether it's a long arm or whether it's a handgun, whether, it rolls 5 rounds, a revolver, or, 32 or 16 or whatever, it only takes one bullet to take a life. It only takes one bullet to take a life. Yeah. Do you need something that has more than one? Because, in a heated situation and you're moving and running at the same time and you may have to fire, yeah, you need really more than one bullet. I can see that. But you don't need 100. Not walking into Walmart. You don't need 100. Or if for whatever reason you felt like it's so unsafe that you need to have that, you could have left that in the damn car. You go with the little magazine you got, it probably looks like what? Maybe about 26 rounds in that one. Now, if you can't defend yourself or take out a real active shooter out of 26 rounds, you ain't got no business with the gun, period. Because you should be able to shoot well enough to take out somebody. You got 26 rounds. And lastly, I want to say, if you're foolish enough to do these types of experiments in the climate that we're in right now, I'd venture to say you'd be foolish enough, you'd be the one got all that stuff loaded on you, want to go to the bathroom, mess around and shoot your own little pee-pee off. Bottom line, people, just stop it. Stop testing it. Stop pushing it. You're only making matters worse. No, yes, we do have to deal with the random, the shooters, the mass shooters, the regular one-on-one shooters that are going on all over the country every day that no one's talking about. Whether it's black people shooting black people, Spanish shooting Spanish, and I know it's not Spanish, it's Latin, Hispanic, whatever term you want to use. I'm from New York, that's what we said Spanish when I was growing up, so I'm old school Spanish. Whether it's white on white, whether it's black on white, white on black, whatever, person to person shooting, those are happening every day. We're not hearing about that. We're only hearing about all these mass shooters. Just stop it. Just stop. You have your firearm. Supposedly you need it for self-defense or for when, shit hits the fan and you need to be able to protect yourself. Well, you know what? Shit ain't hit the fan yet. It ain't hit the fan yet. So why are you walking around a Walmart with it knowing we just had 2 mass shootings last week? 20-something people were killed in the Houston area by firearms the same weekend. Then you turn around and in Louisiana, I believe there's a shootout between 2 customers in the Walmart there. And I mean, come on. And we've heard of the other mass shootings that have gone on. Use common sense. And FYI, I'm going to, this picture is going to come up again in another video just because I'm also going to be addressing how the media, certain media outlets are portraying certain things, and this is one of those. But, bottom line, common sense, use wisdom.